Hello, and welcome to Release Readiness Live. I'm Elna Miller, your Release Readiness champion. We are broadcasting from our home studios this week as we bring you some of the new features from the Summer 20 release. After our product managers give the highlights, we'll take some of your questions live and on the air. So we will be monitoring both the Release Readiness Trailblazers community as well as Twitter. So if you do have a question, please post it in one of those places. Use the hashtag Salesforce Live. And if you can ask the question earlier in the webcast, that would be really helpful. If we don't get your question live and on the air, don't worry, we will follow up with you within the next few days. All of our webcasts will be available for later viewing on the Salesforce Live website. Now, we may be talking about the roadmap or making some forward-looking statements. So please make sure that any purchasing decisions you make are based on currently available functionality. Now let's get started with Service Cloud, and we'll meet our product managers.
Hi, my name is Vincent Pham, and I'm a product manager here in Service Cloud. Very excited to talk to you about what's going on in the world of channels and also have some exciting updates about Service Cloud Voice. All right, let's jump in. Customers expect immediate answers to their support issues across any channel. They want a personalized experience with someone on the other line who knows who they are and can help them right away. Typically, they've already checked the internet, so by the time they pick up a phone to make a call, it's especially crucial that the company delivers a fast and convenient service experience. The reality, though, is that it's still difficult today for companies to deliver a consistent and scalable customer experience across all channels. And why is that? Remember back to the last time you called in to get some phone support? Remember how it felt answering questions repeatedly for things that the agent should already know? This has always been a problem because telephony and CRM stacks were always in different systems, and the existing integrations out there did not deeply integrate the systems. But we've addressed that integration gap with the summer release. Soon, you'll be able to use Service Cloud Voice, an intelligent, natively integrated telephony solution right inside the Salesforce console. Service Cloud Voice brings the ability to route calls right alongside digital channels within the Customer 360 service platform. It boosts agent productivity by pulling in live call transcripts in real time, cutting down on manual data entry. Folks, this hasn't been done before. No one has been able to bring together telephony, digital conversations, and CRM data in real time for both the agent and the supervisor. With Service Cloud, Intelligent Telephony, Einstein for Service and digital channels, you can transform your contact center. Companies will be able to deliver proactive and personalized service. Agents can handle calls more quickly, cutting down on handle time. Supervisors can get a view of what's going on across all channels in one place. They will even be able to see what the agent sees and hears in real time. Also, IT leaders can scale up and scale down their infrastructure needs very quickly. And as part of our strategic partnership with AWS, with the summer release, we partnered with Amazon Connect to deliver a pre-integrated, out-of-the-box telephony solution with simplified purchasing, implementation, and deployment steps. For those of you who wish to continue working with your existing CTI provider, hold on tight because we'll also produce a set of public APIs soon as part of your Bring Your Own Telephony track. All right, who wants to see this in action? We announced Service Cloud Voice at Dreamforce, and I'm excited to walk you through a demo of all the capabilities we're bringing live in the summer release. For our story today, we'll see Cindy make an inbound call into Northern Trail Outfitters. After several months of sheltering in place, Cindy's excited to finally go camping. She's made an order for a telescope, but it hasn't arrived yet.
Hello, Cindy. Thank you for calling. How can we help you today?
I want to track my order.
Okay, got it. Do you know what your order number is?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Let me transfer you through to the order support team to help with that. Thank you for calling. Your call is very important to us and will be answered in the order it was received.
Now, as Agent Jim, I can see and accept the call in Omni. That's right. Alongside all of our other digital channels, I can see phone calls now too. I can also see details like who the customer is, what the number they're calling from, and even some details from the IVR. This is all configurable based on what the most important call details are. Now, as I accept the phone call, let me mute for a second to highlight why Service Cloud Voice is a big deal. First of all, is that for the very first time, we have a standard object between sales and service that is the basis for all Salesforce platform capabilities: reporting, flows, triggers, and custom fields. You can now craft your own Customer 360 together with voice, pulling up all the pertinent information right in front of the agent. In this case, I'm showing the relevant case details and order details. Also notice that we have a sticky call controls component so that you can handle phone calls either in Omni or you can use them directly on the phone call record layout. So let's unmute. Hi, Cindy. I see that you recently ordered a telescope. Can I help you with that order?
Yes, I'd like to know when my telescope will arrive.
I can help with that. There have been a few carrier delays with COVID, but it looks like your telescope will be arriving on May 26th.
Great, I really wanted it before my camping date.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
I am worried about the rainy weather next week. Do you have ideas on how to deal with the rain?
Let's meet again. It's awesome how calls are being transcribed in real time. This allows me to focus on the customer instead of focusing on data collection. Also, at the same time, Salesforce can listen in the background and help recommend offers in real time, like this handy waterproof bag here. Well, we have a great waterproof bag that we can ship to you, which will fit your telescope. It's only $42. Would you like me to send one over?
That sounds perfect. But will it get to me on time?
Cindy, would you like to add overnight shipping for $2 extra or take the standard 2-day delivery?
Yes, let's do overnight shipping.
Should I send it to your existing address in Water Street in Chicago, or do you have a new address?
I do have a new address. It's 1492 Columbus Lane, still in Chicago.
Let's pause again here to highlight two amazing things. First of all, when Cindy said overnight shipping, that was automatically recognized and triggered a change in the flow. Secondly, when Cindy gave her new address, we automatically captured here in the flow as well, where the agent can then review it before saving it. These are a couple examples just to give you an idea of what benefits you can unlock because the transcripts can now talk to Lightning components in real time. Your order has been added to your account and will be sent out soon. Is there anything else I can help you with?
This is great. Thank you.
Thank you for calling Northern Trail Outfitters, and you have a great day. Let's end the call here and switch hats to the supervisor view. Supervisors need to have a clear picture of what's going on in the contact center. How are my queues doing? How are my wait times? And previously, supervisors needed to go into two different places: Omni Supervisor for digital channels and a different dashboard from the telephony provider for voice. But now we're going to bring them together in one place within Omni Supervisor. With the summer release, supervisors will now be able to see in real time inbound and outbound phone calls along with the digital channels. They can see how long agents are talking and which agents are talking. In addition, with Service Cloud Voice, we'll also include access to Einstein Analytics with an out of the box app called Service Cloud Voice Analytics. Here, with just a couple clicks, you'll be able to see more operational metrics to monitor contact center KPIs. Things like average handle time, average speed to answer, call abandonment rates are all bundled in. Lastly, I just wanted to showcase a couple goodies for the admin. Traditionally, CTI hasn't been the easiest thing to set up. With Service Cloud Voice, however, we've also automated a lot of the manual provisioning steps for you, taking what used to be a month-long project to something you can set up in just about 30 minutes. We handle a lot of the manual tasks like spinning up an AWS sub-account, an Amazon Connect instance, and we wire a bunch of the back-end AWS services together for you to get you up and going faster. All right, as you can see, Service Cloud Voice is jam-packed with a lot of capabilities that you can start using in the summer release. To recap, you saw how seamlessly integrated the agent experience was, unifying both Omni and call controls in the same UI. Also, supervisors and team leads get real-time insight into agent activity with real-time dashboards as well as historical dashboards with contact center KPIs. You got a taste of what real-time transcriptions can do with NBAs and flows with our APIs. And lastly, you got a glimpse of the Service Cloud voice setup experience, how with a couple clicks, we provision and wire all the backend AWS systems for you. Moving forward, we'll continue to invest along these 4 key pillars. 2 areas I want to highlight specifically are Omni Supervisor and Bring Your Own Telephony. With Omni, we'll leverage the transcription capability so that supervisors can monitor live conversations in real time. Also, with the Bring Your Own Telephony track, we'll open up public APIs so that you can leverage the demoed capabilities with your existing provider. While summer was a big release for voice, we've also got some exciting updates around the digital channels as well. Since GAing SMS codes in the US, we've seen high adoption rates, and due to popular demand, we've expanded support for short codes in Canada as well. This will allow our customers to expand their SMS to reach Canada, especially for those high volume and transactional use cases. Another popular messaging feature, agent-initiated outbound messaging, allows agents to start proactive outbound conversations via SMS. We've extended support of this feature for a couple new channels, Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp with the summer release in the form of a pilot. If you're interested in joining this pilot, please reach out to your account executive. Now, this is what our digital engagement roadmap looks like moving forward. We're building out a conversational UI that spans across voice, chat, messaging, social, and email so that you can have a single 360 customer view of all your customer interactions in one place. Also, we'll be focusing on this channel object linking capability, which will let you define how you want those conversations associated to contacts and leads in a declarative manner. With rich content, we will enable agents and bots to push interactive and rich experiences such as images, menus, forms, and payment requests. For digital channels, we will focus on in-app messaging, which will allow customers to engage in continuous conversations that persist across websites and mobile devices, so agents and customers can start, pause, and resume their conversations whenever they want. Developers can embed persistent messaging into mobile apps and websites using our SDKs and automatically generate HTML code snippets. We're currently targeting the spring release as a pilot. And that's it for me. Let me hand it over to Deborah for the next section.
Thanks, Vince. Hi, I'm Deborah Strusenberg, and I'm a Product Management Director in Service Cloud. Today, I will be sharing some highlights about what is coming in Knowledge and Core Service. Let's jump right in. A lot of the summer updates for Core Service have already been covered by Vince in the voice section, and we are all really excited about what is coming with voice. However, we do have a few knowledge-related updates in summer as well. First, we have a long-awaited beta release of sharing and criteria-based sharing for knowledge. This will enable admins to set up organizational sharing rules, owner-based sharing rules, and criteria-based sharing rules to control which articles each user can access. There is so much capability with this set of functionality that I won't be able to demo it all. For example, you can control who can access knowledge articles by creating rules based on roles, public groups, individual owners, queues, setting the article record type, or even based on other criteria that you set in the article. Also, the owner on the record can now be changed to an individual or a queue, like on cases. This will be a beta release in summer because sharing rules cannot be set for guest users or high-volume users for communities. If this is important for your org, you may want to wait until the GA release, which will include sharing for guest users and high-volume users. Otherwise, I recommend checking it out in summer. Next, thanks to our reporting team, knowledge reports in Lightning can now be filtered by data categories. This was a popular feature in Classic that people have been missing in Lightning, and we are really happy to announce its availability. I will show a quick demo of that coming up next. Finally, the linked article object has been extended from tracking articles linked to field service orders and order items to also tracking articles used in chat transcripts, messaging sessions, and social posts when a user inserts article content or an article community URL into these channels from the knowledge component. Next up, we've added translation support to 2 popular App Exchange packages for knowledge. The Lightning Knowledge Feedback app allows you to improve your Lightning Knowledge articles by collecting written feedback on article content and managing feedback resolution. The feedback can be collected from the desktop and from a community. Translation capability has been a highly requested feature, especially when this component is used in localized communities. And translation is now also available in the Article Quality Index for Lightning Knowledge package. This package helps orgs track the results of quality audits conducted on articles. All right, I'm super excited to share that we have a new package that has recently been added to AppExchange to help execute mass text changes in Lightning Knowledge. Lightning Knowledge Search and Replace enables knowledge managers or admins to search for articles on specific fields, article record types, or publish status, and then quickly perform mass string substitutions. Updates can be done to content as well as HTML markup in standard and custom text fields and rich text fields for both draft or published articles. Published articles are automatically republished as new versions once the update is performed on each article. And finally, there is a search-only mode of operation available to help users to determine the impact of the replacement operation before the actual substitution is performed. This package will be a game changer for any org that needs to make mass changes to text across many articles. All right, let's switch over to demo to take a look at the knowledge sharing and data category report filter features that are coming in the summer release. Let's start with sharing and criteria-based sharing for knowledge. First, let's look at controlling record visibility. Pearl Calloway works in the legal team in her company. The legal team creates legal procedure articles that should not be visible to anyone else in the company. They have an article record type called procedure, and they have created a sharing rule to ensure that only people in the legal team can see procedure articles. There are also rules that allow everyone internally and externally to view articles with the article record type called FAQ. And one final rule to allow support to edit FAQs. Pearl goes to the draft list view to manage articles. You can see that Pearl can view both procedure and FAQ articles. Now let's switch over to Maya Miller, who is a support engineer at the same company as Pearl. When Maya looks at the same list view as Pearl, she only sees FAQ articles, not the procedure articles that Pearl can see since Maya is not in legal. Now let's look at using sharing to control record editing. Maya can see and edit FAQs. The admin has set up sharing rules so that everyone in support can edit FAQs. So Maya can publish an article that she owns. She can also publish one that is owned by a support coworker. Pearl can see FAQ and procedure articles, but she can only edit procedure articles. You can see that if she tries to publish an FAQ article, she gets an error message. Now let's take a look at report filters by data categories. Maya wants to generate a report with articles tagged with data categories related to clothes. She creates a report, but it has rows with no data categories showing, and she only wants to see articles tagged with the clothes data category. She clicks the edit button on the report. Maya clicks the filter tab, then clicks the filter arrow. And now Maya sees an option to add category filter. She clicks this option. Next, Maya adds the filter options. She selects the above or below option to include all rows in the hierarchy for the clothes data category. She hits the apply button, then clicks save and run. Maya's report now only shows the rows that have been tagged with a data category above or below clothes in the data category hierarchy. All right, now let's switch back to our slides and take a look at the roadmap for core service. First, the knowledge roadmap. Coming soon, sharing and criteria-based sharing for knowledge will go GA, supporting guest users and high-volume users in communities. Next, the multi-channel knowledge strategy continues with the ability to link articles to voice, chat, messaging, and social, and see linked articles in a related list. Finally, in the coming releases, we are rolling out a more seamless setup experience to get started with Service Cloud quickly and effortlessly. This quick setup will allow you to start serving your customers right away with out-of-the-box default configurations and pre-built productivity templates for macros, quick text, and flows, leveraging industry best practices. Look out for more information on this easy setup experience in future release readiness lives. All right, well, that was a lot to share in a really short time, but it is not the end. Let's hand it over now to Pooja.
Hi everyone, I'm Pooja Narayan. I'm a product manager on the Service Einstein team, focusing specifically on conversational AI for service. This is my second release, Readiness Live, and I'm super excited to be here and to share with all of you all the fun things that we've built in Summer 20 and what's coming up in the next few releases. So let's dive right in. Einstein for Service is a set of features built using artificial intelligence with the objective to automate common service interactions and assist agents with intelligence. Our products help agents become more productive and efficient so they can focus on complex troubleshooting. And this has been the theme of our Summer 20 release. Starting off with Einstein article recommendations, which had a successful GA launch in Spring 20. Now in Summer 20, article recommendations will be extending its capabilities in languages beyond English through a pilot program. We're currently accepting pilot nominations, so if you would like to see article recommendations in languages such as German, French, Spanish, or Italian, please reach out to your account team and submit a nomination. Now, let's talk about Einstein case classification. In this release, we have further improved case classification to help you with your triage and routing needs. To elaborate, Einstein case classification already recommends and automates values for your pick list and checkbox fields. Now we've enabled recommendations for lookup fields as well. Next, we've also updated the platform event for automated triage. We've updated the event to always fire and have more detail, which creates more flexibility in how you automate after Einstein is done classifying the case. Finally, we've created a new component option. You get the same great recommendations, but in a slightly different location. We recommend that you check out the new Einstein Field Recommendations component and switch to it soon. Moving on to the biggest highlight of Summer 20. Super excited to share that Einstein Reply Recommendations will now be generally available and will be included in the Service Einstein's queue as an add-on. We've received great feedback from our pilot customers so far and a lot of great insights, and I'm really excited to see a much larger set of customers reap its benefits. I'll be talking through the product concept in detail in a bit, and we'll be showing you a demo as well. So stay tuned for that. Lastly, thrilled to share the availability of the Case Wrap-Up pilot starting Summer 20. I'll be demoing the agent experience with Case Wrap-Up as well shortly. Next, coming up in Winter 20 are functionalities such as multilingual support pilot for reply recommendations as well as article recommendations. We have a great set of details and demos lined up for you in this section, so watch this video till the end to learn more about the latest Service Einstein products. All right, so jumping on to articles. Einstein article recommendations went GA in Spring 20 and has seen tremendous success post-GA, with over 90 customers enabling the product, along with lots of insights as new customers have onboarded. Continuing the momentum, we have introduced multilingual support for article recommendations with the Summer 20 release. This is a pilot functionality, and we're targeting German, French, Spanish, and French for summer, with Dutch and Portuguese for Winter 21. So now, let's take a look at how multilingual support works. The first step for us is to detect the case language using an open NLP library. That means that you don't have to have a language field on the case. We can automatically detect it. Once the language is detected, we look for articles in that language, as this is the language of the customer. If there are no articles found in this language, then we fall back to the master language that is enabled in your setup. To enable the feature, all you have to do is to get yourself nominated in the pilot and turn on the multilingual perm. Now let's take a look at the demo. I'll be an agent working on an Italian case. So what you'll see is that when I create a case with an Italian subject and description, you will get article recommendations in Italian language. Let's see this in action. I'm going to my case list view now to create a new case. And now I'll type the subject and case description in Italian language. We can see that now the case is created with the subject and description as we wrote it. As you can see, Einstein article rec feature has successfully recommended 3 articles that meet the subject and description. I, as an agent, can hover and see the content. I can also mark them as not helpful. Einstein article recommendations also shows the relevant scores for the recommendation so that agents have transparency into the relevancy of the recommendation. As an agent, I can also attach or email the article to the customer. And that wraps it up. We support German, French, Spanish, and Italian for the summer release. All right, so diving deeper into reply recommendations now. As I mentioned earlier, we're super excited to announce that reply recommendations will be generally available this release. With reply recommendations, Einstein suggests what to say next to a customer on chat and messaging channels in real time, so that agents no longer have to type long responses or go through a long list of saved responses to find the most suitable response, helping agents become more productive and more efficient. The requirements for reply recommendations are that you should be using live agent chat for customer support, have sufficient volume of chat transcripts, you should be using Lightning Service Console, be willing to add a new recommended replies component to the Lightning Live Agent Console, and lastly, have chats in English language. All right, so let's take a look at the reply recommendations demo. I'm going to first show you how easy it is to set it up and then walk you through the agent experience. So we'll start with searching for Einstein reply recommendations in the search bar on the setup page. Next, we'll turn on the toggle to enable reply recommendations. Right after, all you have to do is to follow the flow and click Let's Go. You'll be prompted to confirm building the model, click Build. Building a model can take 24 to 48 hours. Once your model is built and reply templates are generated, you can see them here in a list view. Einstein uses artificial intelligence here to parse through historical live chat transcripts to come up with the most frequently used reply templates across all your chat conversations. Once your templates are generated, you can review them, edit them, delete if unwanted, and select the ones that you like. Click Publish to Quick Text. In this release, we have added the integration with Quick Text so that you can better manage your reply recommendations and templates with features such as folder level access, easier permission settings, etc. While exporting to Quick Text, you can select a folder, use merge fields, and channels such as chat and messaging where you would like to see reply recommendations. Click Include in Reply Recommendations and hit Publish. Next, click Activate to turn on reply recommendations for agents with permissions. At any point, if you would like your recommendations to pause without affecting the model or list of templates, you can click Pause Recommendations. That's how automated and easy it is to get started with reply recommendations and generate reply templates automatically. Now let's take a look at the agent experience. Here, we can see an incoming chat request from a customer. As an agent, I'll go ahead and accept the chat. And the customer sends their first message, and they ask a question on returning a pair of shoes that they bought at the store. As soon as the customer sends their question, Einstein recommends what to say next to the customer in real time. Now, agents can interact with recommendations in three possible ways: post, edit, or mark a recommendation as not helpful. In this case, we'll go ahead and click post since this recommendation makes the most sense. Now, the customer makes a special request and describes their situation where they were not able to return the item within the return window. Again, Einstein refreshes recommendations with this new context instantly. This time, we'll go ahead and click Edit as the most relevant recommendation and personalize the response to cover the customer's special request. Now, the customer asks a follow-up question on the refunds. We see this recommendation which isn't that relevant, so we'll go ahead and mark it as not helpful. We'll select the one we're hovering over and click Post. Customer is satisfied with the resolution and says thank you to end the chat. We'll post a suitable closing prompt next and end the chat. Now, after the agent completes the chat, you're going to see Einstein case wrap-up in action for the chat channel. And this is a new product that we're working on. Einstein is going to process the chat transcript, case subject, and description and automatically classify the case to help with the wrap-up process agents need to complete. You can see that Einstein has pre-filled the critical fields such as reason, subreason, priority, escalation, making the wrap-up process a breeze. With Einstein helping your agents wrap up cases, you can save your agents time and improve the overall accuracy of your case data. And that was the demo for reply recommendations and case wrap-up. So you saw Einstein wrap up a case in action earlier. Usually, agents spend a lot of minutes, several of them in fact, after every chat conversation, completing a wrap up process. With the volume of chats, this adds up to a substantial amount of time. In Summer 20, we're piloting Einstein Case Wrap Up to help bring intelligence to the wrap up process. Einstein will classify and pre fill key fields, saving your agent's time, improving case data, and making the wrap up process much more seamless. We're actively looking for pilot customers to work with. Candidates should be on Lightning, have over 10K chats with associated cases in the past 6 months. Bonus if you already have a summary field on the case. If you're interested and meet the criteria, please reach out to your account team to be nominated for the pilot. All right, so that was all for Service Einstein. I hope you liked everything that I shared. And now I'm going to hand it over to Bhaskar Garg, who's going to share more about Einstein bots.
Hi, I'm Bhaskar Garg. Thanks for joining me today. I'm a product manager for Einstein for Service, focusing on Einstein bots. I'm excited to share some of our latest and greatest features from the Summer 20 release. All right, let's jump in. Before talking about the release, I want to frame our focus areas for this fiscal year. Bots is focused on innovating along 3 pillars: ease, growth, and intelligence. The ease pillar is all about making it easier and faster, from just getting started with bots to launching a first bot live to your external customers. When you're getting a sudden influx of service requests, as we've seen many customers experience during the pandemic, you need to get a working bot stood up fast, and there's no time to wait, and we realize that. So features within ease include guided setup, pre-built templates, including industry templates, and additional training and enablement within the product itself. The growth pillar is all about features that will enable you to iterate on your bots, scale them to high volume and value, and reach more of your customers. Simply put, growth is all about helping to build a better and more functional bot. The features within the ease pillar include enhanced analytics, so you can iterate on your bots, distributed team management of the bot, and additional channel integrations. And finally, we have the intelligence pillar. Our goal is for all bots to use intelligence features, because we believe that fundamentally, adding intelligence features to your bot should result in a better bot that provides a better experience for your customers. Things we're working on within this pillar are intent classification performance improvements, additional language support, input recommendations for model training, and a bot focused on intelligent answering of questions using Q&A models. All right, let's start talking about the Summer 20 release, where we have a mix of features that cover all 3 pillars: ease, intelligence, and growth. In the Summer 20 release, we have the Input Recommender pilot, skills-based routing, Einstein bots for Facebook Messenger, enhanced event logs, and new language support for NLP. Also coming soon, there's bots guided setup, Input Recommender beta, queuing of conversations when the agent is at full capacity, and last but not least, we've heard this need from a lot of customers, HIPAA compliance. And now we'll go through our Summer 20 features one by one. First, we have Input Recommender, which will be a pilot feature, so talk to your account rep if you're interested. To train language models and bots today, we recommend creating 150 utterances, and each of these utterances is a replica of something a real customer might say when interacting with your bot. And now with Input Recommender, we can automatically recommend these inputs for you using your real past chat transcript data. You simply seed it with something a customer might ask, like, I need my password reset. And Einstein will look through your past chat transcripts to find similar inputs, which you can then add to your model. This lets you create new intent models in minutes and add to your existing models using your real chat data. Next, I want to tell you about skills-based routing for bots. This is a key growth feature we've added in the Summer 20 release. You can already route to agents in certain queues, but now we've added the ability to route to agents with the right skills to complete a specific request. And these skills aren't static. You can dynamically assign these skills based on the nature of the conversation. For example, if you detect that the conversation is in a particular language, you can transfer to an agent that speaks that specific language. Moving on, we've added new channel support as well. Einstein Bots now supports Facebook Messenger as a channel. We've seen huge demand for this channel and it's now available for all Bots customers. To use Bots with Facebook Messenger, simply add the channel as you would existing chat and messaging channels, such as SMS and WhatsApp. Now it's time to get into some demos. We've added enhanced event logs capabilities to give you deeper insights into your bot conversations. These capabilities include details about the messages that are being sent back and forth between the bot and the human within the event logs themselves. We've also added an additional level of logs called debug logs to enable in-depth debugging of the bot. Also, there's now reporting on bot session metrics in standard Salesforce reports and dashboards, as well as API accessibility of event logs, which lets you export them using the tool of your choice. The easiest way to learn about these is to dive in and take a look, so let's do that. You can see here that I'm within the bot builder for this dealership bot. So this is a bot that helps me make and look up appointments with my dealership. I now navigate over to the Performance section and the Event Logs tab. And this screen probably looks quite familiar to you. I can see the most recent sessions my bot has completed, what channel they came from, and how long each of them took. But if I dive into a single session, things get a lot more interesting. I can now see a lot more details about each event. For example, I can see messages sent from my bot to the end user, as well as responses that came back from the user. So seeing all these messages within the event logs themselves helps me follow the flow of the conversation that the bot is having. And if I now go to the top right and toggle on debug logs, I see 3 new rows of logs appear, which are basically in-depth logs that assist with debugging. All of these event log details are now API accessible as well, so you can export them using your tool of choice and run your own analytics. Lastly, I want to show you the ability to now report on bot sessions using standard reports and dashboards. The first step is to create a standard report on my bot sessions, which I've already done. And now from it, I can create a dashboard which reports on key bot metrics. Over here, I compare how many sessions each of my bot has serviced. For example, a coffee bot has serviced 5 sessions and support bot has serviced 3 sessions. In this component, I'm looking up analytics on my transfer rates. For example, I can see here that 4 sessions have failed to transfer, 3 sessions have successfully transferred, and then there's 1 session where no transfer was requested. And from this, I can calculate my transfer or escalation rate. And lastly, I can compare the number of sessions I've had across each channel, including text, chat, and WhatsApp. We're also excited to announce new language support for our NLP capabilities. We have GA support for Spanish, French, German, Italian, and Portuguese, and beta support for Chinese Simplified, Chinese Traditional, and Japanese. Let's dive in and take a look at how you can create a bot in another language. Now, when I create a bot, I set a language from the bot on the overview page. So you can see here for this dealership bot, I've set the language to English. Now let's say I want to expand to the Chinese market. I want my bot to speak to my customers in the language that they prefer. I'm now able to create the same bot in Chinese. I set the language to Chinese on my Overview tab. And now moving back to dialogues, I can see that I'm able to create the same dialogues as my English bot, but now they're in Chinese. And if I preview my bot, it now works the same, including all the natural language understanding capabilities. Thanks for taking the time to learn more about our latest features. I'm going to hand it back to Elna to bring us home.
All right, let's dive straight into questions. I see we have a good number of questions, so we're going to go straight in. We'll spend the rest of the time on those. So first, I have one from Randy. So she asks, is Cloud Voice the same as Lightning Dialer? Good one.
Great question. No, so Lightning Dialer is different from Service Cloud Voice. While the dialer is mostly an outbound dialing tool for inside sales and sales types of use cases, Service Cloud Voice is entirely different. First of all, It's more geared a little bit towards the call center use case. So inbound phone calls, routing phone calls. It has a lot of other capabilities bundled into it as well around real-time transcription and AI capabilities. So let's just say they're separate products. Over in the future, we will try to bring some of these products a little bit closer together, but right now they're two different products with two different types of use cases.
So you mentioned the inbound calls. Can you still do outbound calls as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So just take a step back. Service Cloud Voice is really like a next rev on CTI. So like just with CTI today, you can do inbound calls, you can do outbound calls, you can do click to dial. You can do all those types of use cases you need, again, for the contact center to take inbound and also make proactive communications. What it's a little bit different from CTI, however, is that it's just a tighter integration with Salesforce.
Got it. Okay, thanks. So Powell is asking which languages are supported for voice recognition in Service Cloud Voice?
Great question. So with the summer release, we are supporting all the languages that Amazon Transcribe real-time supports. It's publicly documented, so as that increases or improves, we'll also automatically improve as well. With the summer release, it's specifically English, French, and also US Spanish. But again, as Transcribe increases support, we'll also as well.
Okay, and what about licensing? How is it included in Service Cloud, or is it an add-on? How does it work?
A great question. So we'll release a lot more details come around July when we GA. At the moment, however, I can share a couple details. One, this will be an add-on user license that can be added on to Service Cloud UE and EE. With that license, you'll get access to all these Amazon Connect and AWS services that we provision for you. For any more sort of detail around the bring your own telephony track, that will be a separate license that will be available in the future in 2021.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up Amazon Connect because Lee was saying that we already use Amazon Connect and tie it into Salesforce using the existing CTI adapter. So he's wondering, are we able to move our existing Amazon Connect call center to Service Cloud Voice so we can take advantage of some of this new functionality?
Great question too. So yes, you can. The data migration or the migration is case by case. So depending on how complex your implementation already is, it might be a heavier or lighter shift. What's going on with Service Cloud Voice is that because we provision Amazon Connect for you and AWS sub account for you, you'll have like a playground, so to speak. You can move all your Amazon Connect configuration and move that over to ours and then make a couple changes to take advantage of the tighter integrations we have with Service Cloud Voice.
Right, thanks. Now, John is saying that he uses a Mitel phone system and they don't have plans to change to AWS. So what are his options for Service Cloud Voice?
Yeah, so for folks who love their current telephony provider, the bring your own telephony track is there for you. So as mentioned before, we'll open up these APIs so that you can have a similar sort of experience with your existing provider. Again, that's not with the summer release, that will be future facing.
Okay, and Randy was also asking about sort of what you would need to get going with Service Cloud Voice. So other than the add-on license, are there any other special requirements or something that you need to have in place to use it?
Just a computer and internet, basically.
Okay.
That's part of the beauty of Service Cloud Voice, cloud-based computing, and cloud-based telephony. All you need is minimum networking requirements to take phone calls. You don't even need a hard phone with Amazon Connect. It'll just come over VoIP. So you're covered.
So the CTI integration would be an optional thing that you could do or would it be required?
So Service Cloud Voice will take care of the CTI integration for you. It basically replaces a separate CTI connection.
Ah, okay.
It provides that connection for you.
Nice. Okay. Okay, on to knowledge. It's for Deborah. From John, are there plans to add knowledge topics to standard reports like you did for data categories? Also, is there a specific report type we need to create in order to access data categories in knowledge reports? Okay, that's a two-part question. So the first one is topics in reports.
So there's not currently plans to add topics to reports. I would be interested to hear more about how you're using them and what you would like to see in reports, because really topics are mostly used on communities. So I'm interested to hear more about that. Maybe we can send some information along so that we can know more about what is, what you would like to see in topics and reports.
Okay.
Not something that we hear about very often.
So
on the second question, yeah.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
No, that's okay. What was the second question? About the second question, Elna.
Oh, the second question was, is there a specific report type that you need to access data categories and knowledge reports?
It is, and I think that I don't want to tell you the wrong one. There's a specific report type that data categories are added to so that you can add them to your reports. I would have to refer to the documentation, or if you put a question in, I'll put it in on the actual chat post.
Okay, sounds
in
good.
the community.
And here's one from Brandy. In regards to knowledge, we really need the ability to search for articles by data category. Is this on the roadmap, or is it possible today? She said you can kind of get at this, but you have to disable Einstein search.
That shouldn't be true. You should be able, if you're talking about searching for knowledge within the knowledge component in the desktop, when you add the knowledge component on another object, if you click into the search box and then you click advanced search, you should be able to get to all of the filters, and that is where you would find the data categories if you have them enabled for your org. So that's where you would use, you'd use the advanced search to filter your search by data categories.
And that's within the knowledge components.
Yeah, that's in the knowledge component. It's also in global search as well.
It's in global search. You can do the advanced search there as well?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so maybe Brandy can give us a little more information about what she's running into, and we can steer her. And then John wanted to know, so this is about reply recommendations, I think for the chat. Is this a paid service, or is it included with Enterprise Edition? Pooja, you're muted, so you might want.
Thank you. So reply recommendation is going to be included in the Service Cloud Einstein SKU as an add-on.
Got it. And is there more, from Kelly, is there more information available in the queuing at full agent capacity? What does that actually mean?
Yeah, I'm not aware of what that means exactly, but I can.
Yeah, I think that might be a bot's ask there, so I can take that one. So basically, what that means is when your agents are at full capacity, based on the capacity that you've set up in Omni for them, currently the functionality is that it doesn't transfer the chat, but we want to be able to queue up when your agents are at full capacity. So it'll put the incoming chat from the bot into the queue. And then when the capacity frees up for the agent, they'll then receive the chat.
What happens right now? If it's
currently right now, it says that no agents are available because they're at full capacity.
Okay, gotcha. That'll be a good addition. From Christopher, regarding the reply recommendations, can we use a custom Lightning app using a console navigation style, or do you have to use the out-of-the-box Service Console in the Service Console Lightning app that comes with Service Cloud?
So you will have to use the Lightning console for Live Agent for reply recommendations.
Got it. And from Drew, does distributed management of bots mean that customize application and modify all data won't be required to manage the bot in the future?
Great question. So we are relaxing the modify all data requirement that you currently need. So that one will definitely be relaxed. And we're going to create a custom permission that your org administrator can assign to also create bots and manage bots.
Great, thank you for that. Let's see, Kristen wanted to know if the Service Cloud voice features are available in Government Cloud.
Yeah, this is for me. So yes, any of the clouds that are built on top of Service Cloud, you can also use Service Cloud Voice for. So GovCloud and also all the other ones as well.
Nice. And Kristen also asked, she said, was I dreaming, or is there a new find and replace for knowledge mentioned? Is that generally available?
So there is an App Exchange package that we developed with Salesforce Labs. And that is true. It's a lightning knowledge search and replace. You can replace text. You can replace HTML markup. And yeah, I would love to have you try it out and give us some feedback.
Cool. And Randy loves the above and below filter and wants to know, can we use it for all objects, or will it be available for all objects?
So that's specifically about data category filters. So it's only for knowledge, because knowledge is the only one that uses data categories in reports.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
So that is specifically about how the data category hierarchy works, where you can choose to, in the hierarchy, select a node somewhere embedded in the middle of the hierarchy and select everything below that in the hierarchy, everything above it, or both above and below.
Gotcha.
So it's really very specific to data categories.
Okay, makes sense. Well, maybe Randy could give us some ideas about how she might use it with other objects, and we can pass that on to, maybe it's similar feature for other types of objects. Because I know we do have hierarchies and account hierarchy and contact hierarchy and so forth. So, so a couple more questions about Service Cloud Voice. So how is it actually different from open CTI providers today? Because you mentioned that it could actually replace a CTI solution. How is it different from open CTI with Amazon Connect?
Yeah, so this baseline with OpenCTI primarily is OpenCTI is an API that is available for telephony partners to use to create like a agent level integration. Agent level meaning when an agent receives a phone call, you get a screen pop. Agent integration like you can click to call. Agent integration like you can log a call from a soft phone built by the telephony provider. Service Cloud Voice and Service Cloud Voice with Amazon do all that and more. So the and more stuff, let's start with the provisioning side and the setup side. We take steps to do the provisioning for you. So we take an exercise that sometimes is month-long or multi-month long, and you actually have a setup experience where you click a button and it provisions all these AWS services for you. That's one thing. The second thing is we have a data model now for voice call, which is a big deal. Having this voice call object allows you to tap into all the Lightning Salesforce platform features, workflow, triggers, Apex, reports. That stuff you didn't get necessarily for free, or at least in a standardized manner with CTI. You would have to create your own custom objects. Thirdly, more APIs for a server-side integration. An example of that is when the phone call comes in now, we have endpoints for you to push in the creation of the voice call, any sort of attributes that you capture in the IVR, like what buttons they've pressed, what queue they've entered, any sort of attributes that you want the agent to know about. We have an endpoint so that that data can come in. Similarly, another server-side sort of integration is transcription. So we have an endpoint now so that with Amazon Transcribe, or in the future with Bring Your Own Telephony, you can actually bring in transcription from a different provider, provided that there's an audio stream. So these are just a couple of examples of how Service Cloud Voice is just really a lot more than what OpenCTI is, and how it's more tightly integrated with Salesforce as a whole.
Nice, thank you for that. So Deborah, I got one more for you. So if you wanted to try out the Sharing for Knowledge beta, how would you enable that?
Yes, you would log a support ticket and just ask them to enable it for you. Once it's enabled in by support, then you can go into setup, into knowledge settings, and then the admin can toggle sharing on and off there. An important note about that is when you turn on sharing for knowledge, it will now switch from using data categories to control record visibility and use sharing instead. They can't both control record access and record visibility. That doesn't mean data categories will go away. They will still be there for filtering. They'll still be there for search filtering for the reports, obviously, because we just added that feature. But you can't. We will not be using both data categories and sharing for controlling record access. It's just there's too many factors and variables that can conflict.
Okay, so you just answered my next question, which was, well, what happens to data categories? I think you just answered that one. Yeah. And then, yeah. So you got to pick one model or the other. So if you enable sharing, then that's what's going to control the access. So with that,
Exactly,
are there any gotchas or things to, like, thinking of how they have their access set up today? Is there anything that might happen or that they need to prepare in advance with that switch to make sure people still have access to the right stuff?
Yeah, I mean, sharing is so flexible. There's so many options with both standard sharing as well as criteria-based sharing being enabled, and now having the owner field plus queues available. There's a lot of flexibility. If there was something in data categories specifically that was being used to control record access, then that the admin and the team does need to sit down and think about how that will transfer to the new model. Because those will no longer, as soon as you make the switch over to sharing, it will no longer be taking that into account. So, that will be something that you'd want to consider in advance and try out in probably in a sandbox first. Make sure that the rules are set up, accordingly and appropriately.
It's something that you need to be thoughtful about, right? You need to plan and have some change management around, and definitely try it in the sandbox, and ideally have different users who have different types of access today, see what would change, with under the new model. So
exactly, yeah. And I think that the one thing that is important to note for an admin is you can turn it on, try it out, set it up. You can go back to data categories if it really isn't working for you. But there's so many options available that I would hope that you can find what you need and then some. There's much more flexibility and capability with sharing than there was with just data categories alone.
Right, good to know. So it's something that everyone may want to think about, to start thinking about today, even if you're not going to try it right away. Maybe wait till GA, but start thinking about how you have your data categories, what they're doing today, right?
Yeah, I mean, really the GA is about making sure that we have sharing for guest users and high volume users for communities. So, if that's important, then I would definitely recommend the org wait until that's available with the GA. But if that is not something that's in the model, then that's really the primary functionality that will come out in the next release with the GA.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So regarding the Service Cloud Einstein, I got a couple questions about that. And we have 2 more minutes. So I'm going to just take a couple more questions. What is freemium in Service Cloud Einstein? So what can you try before you buy?
That's an excellent question. So with Service Cloud Einstein, article recommendations and a base version of case classification are included in the Unlimited and Enterprise Edition. For everything else, that's a paid add-on to the Service Einstein SKU.
Great. Now I got one more question from Peggy. She asked, can we use Service Cloud Voice, including AWS, without switching over our full phone system for the entire company?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to get into context. I believe the answer is yes, assuming, well, let me make sure I've got the question right. Can I move over AWS, not the entire phone company, the phone
Right.
system for the
Maybe
company.
just a subset of people who use Salesforce, I would guess.
Yeah, I might get the details wrong, so we can follow up in chatter. But typically, you've got your phone system on one stack. You've got your phone system for external communication, usually on something else. Usually, what happens is you'll want to set up Service Cloud Voice just for the external sort of communication. Usually, leave the internal ones alone, so you don't have to move over. It's kind of case by case if you want to, but typically they're separate.
Okay, well, that about wraps it up for this session today. Thank you for all your questions, and please come back and join us again for Field Service Lightning in about an hour. So come back and watch that. We're going to do live questions again after the presentations. So until then, we will see you in the Release Readiness Trailblazers community, where all Trailblazers meet to be release ready.